Something like better get Dixon.
Better get Dixon.
Should have gotten Dixon.
Something like that.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to another series of two lawyers drinking beer and talking law liberally. Actually, today we're talking taglines liberally. We're trying to find ours.
Anyway.
If you have any suggestions, we will guarantee at least a nice supply of beer to the winner. Just post it on our website. We'll be glad to see it.
Anyway, you're here this afternoon with Joe O'Keefe and Ryan Gilman of Dixon Law Group. Call 719-888-5882 if you find yourself in need of an attorney. Pulled over.
Free consultation.
Free consultation every time, and we'll tell you, honestly, how screwed you are.
How about we may be free, but we ain't cheap?
No.
That doesn't work.
That's not true.
We may be free, but we ain't cheap. Free consultation.
Free consultation, but we also do our best to make sure that it's affordable for the client.
But affordable and cheap are two different things.
That's true. That's true.
Cheap lawyers are like cheap tattoos, people. Go ahead. I dare you to get one.
Well, I mean, it's just like a jailhouse lawyer and a jailhouse tattoo, right? Both of a sketchy quality.
Yeah.
Done with a Bic pen and some printer ink.
And who knows how much penicillin you're going to need afterwards, right?
Hey, you just never. I'm sure there's a lot of people who take sterility very seriously while in
that is true,
right?
So anyway, beginning next week, we are going to have the fortune of being co-hosted here by the guys from Wake and Bake. The morning show, 98.5.
Wake and Bake America, 98.5, blazing. You gotta say it with that, like, blaze.
I can't do how he does it. And we won't let him be doing it how he does it in here, because he'd get us thrown out of the place. I mean, no offense. It's good. And when you in the morning, if you need something to jolt you awake, you want to hear it. But not at mellow beer time.
Yeah, this is a precursor to Joe's nap time. And he doesn't want to be amped up too much.
Nap time my ass. That's close to
Joe,
bed.
I have to throw in some old elderly Joe jokes.
Look, anytime after 7:30 is fair game.
So, Joe, what are we talking about today?
We're talking
Other
about
than the tagline. Because I feel like that can't fill the whole time.
Talking about taglines, social media. Oh, and by the way, who owns the social media if you get divorced? Just saying. Got a joint account?
Question.
Wonder, yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, especially if you think about it, like, so here's a little phenomenon, right? People have these.
These are things most lawyers don't think about when it comes to divorce.
Well, no, think about it. So, animal Instagrams, right? Some of the most popular Instagram feeds are just cute animals, right?
Well, of course, that works.
Right? And so let's say you and your wife have a cute animal Instagram, you split up, it's got followers, that has value. How do you split that up? It's one of these questions that we encounter all the time in a law that was designed. I mean,
what about all your joined friends on Facebook?
Well, I feel like that there's no, I don't know about the value of that one.
And Twitter, and Instagram, and all the digital nudes.
In Colorado, we have a revenge porn law that regulates those.
That's different.
No,
it's not revenge porn to keep them.
Oh no, it is to publish them though.
Well, I didn't say that.
But so actually, ownership. Well, no. So the funny thing about that, right, is that if it's a poll, so like
you can keep your ex's picture, you can masturbate with it, and you can show it off privately, but you cannot publicly put it out there and humiliate her.
It depends. It's the intention, because here's the thing: copyright law says the person who makes the fixation owns the copyright, right? So the person who takes the picture has the copyright. But then you have this issue of you have, as a person, a right to monetize your persona.
Well,
right?
what if they send it to you? Then you have a license.
Well, and that's the thing, is that's what makes these cases really tricky. Actually, so when we talk about sex tape brokers, right? Sex tape brokering is a real niche legal profession. Not a whole lot of lawyers do it, but
somehow it doesn't surprise me he knows.
Joe thinks I'm some sort of sexual deviant, and he's pointing. He's trying to always find little more evidence to build his case.
I think at least you're a furry.
I'm not. I can swear under oath. I'm not a furry.
I think he's a furry.
Nor have I ever been a furry.
Anyway, we're talking.
I've actually never done any live action role playing like that, so I feel like I'm really actually ignorant of an entire subculture that maybe I should be a little more into.
I feel bad for all you post-age generation kids. I mean.
I know. I mean, what can I say, Joe? Back when you were an adolescent, what were you doing? I feel like.
Anyway, so we were talking about yeah.
So anyway, but it is. It's like when we talk about ownership of let's say sex tapes. It's a funny little complicated thing.
It gets even more complicated. What if you send your selfies to the other party?
Well, so
you're granting them a license.
I actually had an interesting conversation with my fiance. It was actually again. I had an interesting conversation with Jess.
This is a family show.
No, it is, but it was a conversation about dick pics because she has a friend of hers who is dating. And she is dealing with the phenomenon of the unsolicited dick pic coming at her.
Yeah,
right?
why do guys do that? I have news for you. Most women think dick pics are fucking ridiculous. And if you think it's going to get you laid, it's not.
Oh, but the thing is how men work, right? Is if it works once, you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So for the dick, that's the argument with Jess. I'm like, Jess, for this guy who's sending your friend dick pics, he's probably done it to other women, and it's worked. So that's why he's doing
Anthony
it.
Weiner.
I mean, right there.
Anthony
Carlos
Weiner.
Danger.
Carlos Danger, yeah.
But that's the thing. So what Jess was talking about is like, well, in college, when anybody would send me a dick pic, I would send it to everyone I knew in order to shame them. And she would text back, I just sent this to everyone I know. And I told her, well, Jess, you kind of, I know
some of us would be proud,
right?
Just saying.
And I told Jess, it's like, I get what you're doing there. You're publicly shaming them for, but at the end of the day, isn't that what they want? Aren't you serving their purpose in having as many women as possible see their penis?
Of course, they're proud of it. They want to show it off.
And then
I still don't get that.
Well, I mean, Joe, I feel like, and then we had this discussion. It's like, has a woman ever solicited a dick pic before? And it's like, well, I mean, I'm sure.
Entrapment.
But.
Pure entrapment.
But the thing is that's an interesting question. If in my fiance's circumstance, when she was getting the picture of the dick pic, right, the copyright is actually owned by the taker of the dick pic, right? However, when you send that dick pic unsolicited, are you granting the person you send it to a license to distribute it?
You are.
So that's the thing is in copyright you have implied and express.
Look,
license.
It's no different than putting stuff out for the garbage and the cops come and pick it up. You have no expectation of privacy.
But don't you?
Do that.
Because here's the thing: if it's a text message, right? It's a communication as if
it's unsolicited.
But that's the thing. As I think when I was arguing with her about it, I think the unsolicited nature of the text message. It's like if I sent you
the license.
Well, yeah, and I feel it's like if let's say I took a Polaroid picture of my penis and I sent it to someone in the mail, right? I mean, at that point, I really could not complain that that person uploaded it to the internet and spread it around.
I've actually opened up resume and job applications and seen boobies fall out. Like, not real boobies, but pictures of boobies.
But did that work?
Got him an interview.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm saying, is people do things if they work. And I think it's kind of a funny phenomenon in our society. We complain about certain common things, but they wouldn't be common if they wouldn't work.
Didn't get him a job.
Well, but it got him the first step.
They would have gotten an interview anyway, probably.
Oh, there's only one applicant to that position. But what the hell were we talking about before I distracted us with the dick pic conversation?
Boobies.
Boobies?
No, we were talking about boobies after.
Oh, but
anyway, by the way, Dixon Law Group, free consultation. All you got to do is call 719-888-5882.
And especially call us if you're having a dick pic problem. If you got some dick pics, if you're getting divorced.
Call him. I don't want to.
Honestly, no, they're funny. I mean, honestly, any case that has a dick pic involved in it is going to be funny. It's going to be hilarious.
If you need to retrieve any pics you may have sent, give me a call. I'll help on that.
Why do you have to take all the fun ones, Joe?
I don't want to look at dick pics.
You don't have to look at the dick pic. You just have to know it exists.
No. Some things you cannot forget. No.
So, don't call Joe with your dick pic dilemmas, is what I
not. I will not go there. I will not.
But how about that tagline?
No,
have
vagina
a dick pic dilemma?
Vagina pic, booby pics. Hey, give me a call. I'll help you out. I won't let any bastard expose that stuff.
Well, anyway, it's an interesting subject of law. That's something that was not contemplated back with Blackstone.
But anyway, we were talking about social media and ownership of it. Now, here's the other thing. So most people don't realize this, but now that we have same-sex marriages and we have common law marriage in Colorado, I mean, you can go into a bar in Colorado and come out married.
Well,
real fast.
But here's the thing. I don't think you have gay common law marriage.
So this is where. Why not?
Well, I actually dealt with this case once.
How can you have it for regular marriage and not for?
Well, here's the argument. Under the common law, the English common law, what did they call homosexual intercourse?
Yeah.
It was a crime. It's called buggery.
Right.
Okay. And so, because it was a crime under the common law, the argument is you cannot have common law gay marriage because under the common law.
Well, what does Colorado say?
Well, it has not been dealt with yet on the appellate level.
It's coming.
No, it has to come because the issue is huge. Because the other argument.
Let's back up. So, what is common law marriage? That is basically where you go out, you get drunk, you fall in love, and you profess to everybody your love, and you all decide you're going to proceed as husband and wife, or husband and husband, or right.
That's it. You can't no more than two.
And you do it.
And they have to be people.
And you do it in front of people. Guess what? Definitely for male and female in Colorado, you're married.
Yeah. No, I mean
you're married, and if it now for the same sex, I can't see how it would be different.
And so the issue is that
I just can't.
Well, and that's kind of the interesting argument is because when Colorado and any other common law state has common law marriage, it's because the state has not banned it, right? Statutes abrogate the common law.
Yeah, but Colorado. No, you see, Pennsylvania has abolished common law marriage. Now Colorado has a statutory common law marriage.
No, it's not a statute. It's not. Actually, it's a judicially noticed doctrine. There is not one statute. That's why it's common law.
Well, then you may have a real good argument on that.
No, I mean, it's true because our common law marriage actually descends from English common law. And homosexual sex under English common law was like a crime that merited the death penalty.
So
was
translated, it would, under the English common law, it was a void contract.
I don't think there would be no. I mean, it'd be an illegal contract under the common law. But here's the issue: we have gay marriage. So if you're a state and you offer straight people to get married, well, so if you're a state and you have a statute that lets men and women get married, but doesn't allow women and men, and men, you're in violation of the Constitution. That was what the Supreme Court held.
But that's not common law.
Exactly. So the argument is, but then the other argument is okay. So the Constitution is still the ultimate frame of reference. The Constitution could abrogate that common law doctrine that homosexual sex is buggery.
But it could not. It could not because it could not because.
But the issue is doesn't that go to the fundamental problem with the 14th Amendment? Privileges and immunities, right? Yeah. If you extend the privilege to straight couples that they can get married without having to get a license, that they can simply just say, hey, we're married. Why? Well, how is it not a constitutional violation to not extend that right to gay people?
Because the state really isn't extending that right to them. The legislature hasn't acted.
Again, I think it's a thorny problem with the 14th Amendment because that privilege and immunity still exists.
Right. It's only under the common law. It's just a judicially crafted doctrine. The state, there's no state action through the independent judiciary by necessary nature. It can't be.
But isn't there state?
I think that argument has legs.
But here's a scenario where we do have state action.
Which, by the way, to all our lesbian, transgender, gay people out there, does mean these are serious issues if you're in a serious relationship relative to if you buy a house together,
adopt a child together. I mean, all sorts of things.
I mean, all kinds of stuff. These are real serious issues. Now, I know going back before gay marriage was legalized, I helped what we used to call alternative relationships with a lot of estate planning stuff because families would not want to honor their relationships. And then when the people passed away, it would be intestate. I mean, and that all meant that it went to the families and not to their spouse.
Well, and that's probably how this question is going to arise.
So
right?
I mean, So what we're talking about now is, really, if you're lesbian, gay, or transgender, I strongly suggest, even if you are married, believe it or not, that. You come in and consult us because, for everything from, what happens to the adopted kid down the road to estate. I mean, typically people in that community are making big money. You got dual incomes, no kids. They're making big money. And somebody gets cancer, gets sick. How is that going to work? It's not like your traditional estate question.
No, I mean, it is. It's one of these things where I think this question will probably hit the appellate courts on an inheritance dispute, probably.
It probably will, but for the average person out there, I've been drafting stuff like this to help people out since 1996 or 7 when I did my first alternative estate, per se, for a couple of guys that had some pretty significant stuff they put together, and one of them was getting sick. And it worked. And it worked against, some homophobic people in their family that tried contesting it. 719-888-5882, free consultation.
We got to take a beer break. I'm empty.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome back.
We're re-beered
Welcome
up.
back to Two Guys Drinking Beer and Talking Law Liberally. This particular segment is aimed towards you, Bobby Brown. Ha-ha! That's right, Bobby Brown.
Whitney's husband?
No, Bobby Brown bails bonds and Bobby Brown's best buds here in Colorado Springs. Now, I want to talk about Natalie Wood.
Uh-oh.
So, I happen to think someone did it.
It's Christopher Walken.
No, it was not Christopher Walken. It was not.
Is RJ?
It was RJ.
Robert Wagner?
Robert Wagner. I'm telling you, it was Robert Wagner.
I mean,
it
probably.
makes no sense. I've read everything. I've looked at it, and I am telling you, it makes no sense. The woman was terrified of the water. My wife, by the way, is named after Natalie Woods.
For the younger audience who doesn't have any clue who Robert Wagner is, he
used to be a big shot in the 70s.
He was in the Austin Powers movies. He was the number 2. He had the eye patch.
Yeah, but go back to the other one. He played the detective in, what was it? And she was in it with him too. Mr. and Mrs. something.
My dad loves this show. Not Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My dad loves that show. My dad's a big Robert Wagner fan.
Really?
This is why I know a little bit about this. Actually, I remember when I was a small child and him mentioning Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood, and I'm like, who's that?
I am as certain that he did it as I am as certain that Beretta killed that crazy you-know-what that he was married to.
The parrot?
No.
Because Beretta, he had a parrot, right?
Yeah, Beretta had the parrot.
Yeah, I love that.
Beretta had the parrot. We're talking right now about celebrity murders, Bobby Brown. Help us out here, brother. No. So, no, what's his name? The guy who played Beretta. He's still alive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just remember the parrot.
Well, anyway. Hold on. Let me get my old man spectacles.
Anyway, while Joe is quickly getting on IMDb to see
I'm going to feel stupid.
Who Beretta is.
I'm going to feel stupid because the name's right on the top.
But seriously, Joe and I talk about 70s detective shows a lot. My personal favorite detective show, Quincy. Awesome
Robert
show.
Blake.
Robert Blake.
So,
Lots of
Robert
Roberts.
Blake married that pinup porn star. And I don't get it. Guys, I got news for you. If they're twice your age and it seems like you hit the jackpot, go buy a prostitute in Vegas. It'll be a lot cheaper in the long run. It isn't love.
I'd like to clarify that
It's
in
not
Clark
love.
County, Nevada, prostitution is illegal. So I'm going to rephrase Joe's command to you to go get a prostitute in Pahrump, Nevada.
I didn't say pay him.
I mean, isn't that inferred? I mean, it takes a rare man like Joe O'Keefe to go demand compensation before... Isn't that
I did. No, I did. In Vegas once, my wife came up upon me and I was talking to a lady of the night and explaining why she would pay me $250 for an hour. But yeah. Anyway, so no, we were talking about celebrity murders. So Robert Blake, he marries this tulip, as my grandmother would have called her. A tulip, my grandmother would have called her, which is kind of like trollop, which is the way she would have said it. And, she decides she's going to go after his kid, and she's batshit crazy, clearly using him for money, and she ends up dead, and he got off.
Bonnie Lee Blakely was her name, right?
That was it, yes.
Now it's all coming back to me now. I mean, I feel like anytime you have a significant age difference in a relationship...
I mean, I'm not confusing Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood with that. Natalie Wood was not a trollop by any means.
No, Natalie Wood just got pushed off a boat instead of getting shot.
She couldn't swim and she was terrified of the water, and there was a storm outside, and somehow she ended up out there with only half her jewelry off.
But the irony of the Robert Blake thing is Beretta's theme song. It was like, "Don't do the crime if you can't do the time."
He got off.
That's
He's
why
broke
he needed
now.
Excellent lawyers are expensive.
Now,
That's why he's broke.
Who else knows how he broke into the business? Speaking of a TV show that would never be aired today.
Oh gosh, what?
Wasn't he
F-Troop?
He was in Little Spanky.
And a Little Rascals?
Little Rascals. He was in Little Rascals.
I had no idea.
Robert Blake was in Little Rascals. I think he was Spanky.
I was not going there. I was going with like F-Troop or
Little Rascals. Hello. Hey, finally someone from FH Beerworks is willing to come on video. See, these are our fine hosts. Normally Ms. Monica is the one whose voice you hear and the beer hand you see going. Hello, introduce yourself.
My name's Bree. Hello.
All three people who watch us, this is Bree. Come down, the beer's great here.
All three people. We could double in size of the three people.
Hey, tell all your friends you're on, and they'll watch. But
we're not quite up to the Pot Brothers at law in their circulation yet, but we'll get there.
I mean,
You'll get there.
Beer
I
Brothers.
believe in it. I believe in you guys.
Thank you.
I mean, we can't use "shut the fuck
And
up"
by the
as
way-
a
and by the way,
trademark because they took that.
FH Brewing Company, there's 2 locations, one down here on Tejon Street, one up off of Academy, and I'm telling you, their beer is great, consistently. Anyway.
And you get to see dogs. A lot of cute dogs around here.
What's that?
It's Powers, not Academy.
Powers, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Powers, correct. See?
Joe
I
gets
told you their
confused.
beer was good.
He's still a recent arrival.
See,
to
but
El
I don't
Paso
go to
County.
that one. I always come down here to see you guys.
This is the better one.
It happens to
That's
be less than a
And
block away from
their
our
food
office.
trucks come. Typically, now by the way, the best food truck so far is, go ahead, sushi!
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is great stuff. What is it, rock and roll?
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, yeah. And one day I just sat out there and was just going rut row, and he didn't get it. But yeah,
Do we?
yeah.
Anyway,
So we're talking about celebrity murders. And, I'm telling you, Robert Wagner did it.
Speaking of celebrity murders, yesterday.
By the way, there is no statute of limitations on murder. So if you
Such a shame.
one night coming home from the club ran over somebody or something stupid, or just picked up a knife and slit someone's throat, you really need to call us fast and bring a big checkbook.
So Joe, you might think this is interesting, the celebrity murder aspect, maybe celebrity murder.
Don't bring up OJ. We all know.
Well,
he did
I'm bringing
it,
up
but he was
OJ
innocent.
only because I think this is a really weird thing. So yesterday, I was at Peyton Junior Senior High School teaching the kids how to conduct a trial.
Peyton Junior Senior High.
Oh, it's in the country. It's a country school. Anyway,
Did it have concrete floors or were they all mud?
oh, Joe, it's straw. Anyway, so I was talking to him about how you do a
I
closing
think our
argument.
rock and roll sushi is approaching.
Right. I was telling him how to do a closing argument, and I asked him if they knew
Yeah,
about.
that's our guy. That's our
That
sushi
is.
guy. It's a good shit. I'm telling you.
Anyway, the kids didn't know who OJ was. They had like a couple kids knew who OJ was, and I'm like, yo, if OJ can be forgotten, anything can be
See,
forgotten.
this is why they need to have me as a teacher. I would bring in all the Naked Gun movies and all the other movies that the stupid stuff he's been in, and I'd have a culture day. We'd watch
an OJ day.
and Police Academy. He was in all the Police Academy.
You're just
movies.
gonna play all his Hertz commercials on in between each movie, so they can really get the
I
full
gotta tell you
OJ
something, man.
experience.
That guy was one hell of an athlete. That is true.
It's true. Too bad he
It's
had
a
to play
shame
in
he was
Buffalo.
batshit crazy, and he definitely did it.
I mean, I don't think
He did
anybody doubts that now.
Well,
Maybe the jury still.
did. Thank you, Marsha Clark.
Nah,
You
everybody,
idiot.
it's Barry Scheck. Barry Scheck won that thing.
Now,
DNA, he destroyed it.
Marsha
It's
Clark
brilliant.
overcharged. If she'd have gone after, even if she'd have gone for homicide too, she'd have gotten away with it.
She would have got away with shit because they presented a theory of the case that was inconsistent with the facts presented. And when you present to a jury a theory of the case and you cannot back it up with the facts, you're gonna lose. Stay off camera. We'll pixelate you. Anyway, but yeah, I thought that was shocking to me that nobody knew who OJ was. I was really, really surprised.
That's a shame.
I guarantee those kids have no idea who Rob Blake is.
Yeah, but they know who Charles Manson is, which is what's.
Well, I mean, people like love that dude. I mean, I don't know what this serial killer fetish that exists, but it's a real thing. I mean, honestly.
Well, you know, Frazee and all those people, I mean, the minute they hit prison on this shit, they start getting love letters and God knows what.
Oh, yeah, and donations to the commissary. That's really, I mean, honestly, Manson allegedly had all the commissary money he
wanted. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with a $100 bill. And these guys go out and slit women's throats.
Don't you know having a swastika tattoo on your forehead is just, like, irresistible?
Okay,
Gabe needs the light.
And now there's light.
Shout out to Gabe. Mm-hmm. Gabe is the brilliant technical master behind this.
719-888-5882. Free consultation. See you next week, and we'll have Mr. Trey.
We will. It'll be more organized, probably. Really listen into that one.
Yeah, he sends us scripts, so we're going to have to put one together for him. But definitely a professional.
Well, anyway, that's the thing. You can catch us on Blazing 98.5.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 to 7:45 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
We're there talking today. We talked about divorce.
Good.
Tomorrow, or not tomorrow. I have been off on the days completely today.
We talk about a lot of shit.
So anyway, catch us on 98.5 on Thursday. We'll be back next week with a new invigorating topic.
Now we're checking out taglines. The one who picks the winner will get free beers. I'm thinking justice all can afford.
I hate it.
All right. Then that's
so
okay.
come up with something different. If you come up with something different and we take it, Joe's right. You'll get a reward.
Why don't you
in
like
beer?
Justice?
Because I think it's corny.
Corny word? Oh, corny. Shut the fuck up isn't corny?
Well, no, shut the fuck up isn't corny, right? It's a call to action. Shut the fuck up. You're telling people to do things.
No, you're right. You're good about that. That's true.
No, if you could do it. Look, this is why, because I mentioned, this is why the kids didn't know about OJ. So I'm like talking about if the glove don't fit, you must have quit, and how that's like a call and response thing. Like, what? Who's OJ?
How about need to get some? Call Dixon.
I kind of like that one.